I want to show you something before I say a single word. Everything you just watched, every single clip, was filmed on a camera that fits in your shirt pocket. No, seriously, this thing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's a pocket camera. It probably looks fine on a phone screen, but awful on a TV. I said the exact same thing. And then I plugged the footage into my editing software, threw it up on a 4K monitor, and my jaw genuinely hit the floor. So, before we go any further, I need you to stick around until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you a comparison that is going to completely change the way you think about what a small camera can actually do. And trust me, Section 9 alone is worth your time. First impressions. Right, so when the DJI Pocket 4 showed up, now the first thing I did was put it on the table next to my Pocket 3. And honestly, I stared at them for a solid 30 seconds trying to figure out which one was which. They are almost identical from the outside. Same form factor, same general shape, same weight and hand feel. Well, almost. The Pocket 4 is slightly heavier, but we're talking a difference you'd only notice if you were specifically looking for it. So the exterior changes are subtle, but here's where things get interesting. Flip the screen around and you'll immediately spot two new physical buttons on the front of the camera. The first is a customizable shortcut button. I've mapped mine so that a single press rotates the gimbal instantly. No more triple pressing the joystick like it's a cheat code from a 2003 video game. The second button is a dedicated 2x lossless zoom. One press and you're at 40 millimeters. Press it again and you snap back to 20 millimeters. And this works in DLOG, which is massive. DJI didn't cripple the feature by locking it to a lesser color profile. Both of these buttons sound like minor additions on paper, but when you're vlogging and you want to switch perspective quickly without fumbling through menus, they genuinely make the experience feel faster and more professional. The creator combo also comes loaded. You get the fill light, the wide-angle filter for a 15mm look, the suction cup mount, a mini tripod, wrist strap, gimbal protector, and the star of the package, the DJI Mic 3. Not the Mic Mini, the full DJI Mic 3. That's a wireless microphone that sells for serious money on its own, and it's bundled right in. That alone nearly justifies the price difference between the standard and creator versions. Video quality. Alright, let's talk about the thing that actually matters most, the video quality. Because here is where the DJI Pocket 4 stops feeling like an incremental update and starts feeling like a genuine leap forward. On paper, the headline specs look suspiciously familiar to the Pocket 3. 1-inch sensor, f2 aperture, 20mm focal length, 4K 60 and 3K 60 in vertical mode. I looked at that list when it was first announced and thought, seriously, DJI? That's it? Where's the upgrade? But here's the thing about specs on paper. They don't tell the whole story, because the sensor in the Pocket 4 has been completely re-engineered. It now delivers 14 stops of dynamic range, and it supports proper 10-bit video capture, meaning this tiny camera is recording over 1 billion individual colors in every single frame. But the feature that changes everything, the one I've genuinely been waiting years to see on a pocket camera, is DLOG. DLOG, a true, flat, professional log color profile. The same profile used in DJI's flagship drone lineup. If you've ever shot log on a mirrorless camera or a high-end drone and loved having complete creative control in post-production, you know exactly why this is a big deal. Log footage essentially captures the maximum possible information from the sensor, leaving the highlights bright without blowing them out and keeping shadow detail without crushing the blacks. Then in post, you apply your color grade, your LUTs, your custom look, and you sculpt the image exactly the way you want it. All the footage you're seeing on screen right now, 90% of it was shot in DLOG and color graded on my laptop. And when I tell you the quality that comes out of this pocket camera after a proper grade looks competitive with footage from cameras costing 5 or 10 times the price, I am not exaggerating. I'm actually a little annoyed because it's making me question every large camera purchase I've made. One quick tip before we move on, by default, the sharpness on this camera is set a little high. The moment you get your Pocket 4, go into Settings, swipe down to Image Adjustments, find Texture, and drop it down to -2. It's a 5-second fix that immediately makes your footage look more cinematic and natural. You can thank me later. And if you're not ready to dive into log profiles and color grading yet, that's completely fine. The normal color profile is also shooting in 10-bit and looks exceptional straight out of camera. DJI also added 6 new film tones. These are essentially built-in cinematic presets that give your footage a specific mood or look before you've even opened an editing app. They're genuinely good and not just gimmicks. A nice touch for creators who want a distinctive look without a complex post-workflow. Slow motion. Now, if slow motion is your thing, the Pocket 4 has got something genuinely special. It can now record at 4K 240 frames per second. That is not a typo. Full 4K resolution at 240 frames per second, which gives you footage that plays back at a silky, almost hypnotic level of slow motion that was simply not possible on the Pocket 3. The night at Disneyland Paris, I spotted some street performers, jugglers, and decided to test this out properly. I set the camera down on a bench, aimed it at the performers, hit record, and literally just walked away. The gimbal held them perfectly steady, and the 240 frames per second captured every single rotation of every single club they were throwing in the air. The detail in the slow motion is remarkable. Here's a trick I discovered during testing. If you double tap on a subject while recording in 240 frames per second, the camera's ActiveTrack 7.0 kicks in and locks onto them, while still shooting at 240 frames per second. So you get tracked, stabilized, cinematic slow motion without touching the camera again. I used this on a moving carousel at the park, and the result looked like something out of a proper film production. And one honest limitation to flag here. The 240 frames per second mode does not support DLOG. You're limited to the normal color profile in slow motion. That's an understandable technical constraint, but it's worth knowing upfront so you're not disappointed when you switch modes and suddenly can't find your log option. The quality in normal mode is still excellent, but just manage those expectations going in. Low light. One of the most consistent criticisms of pocket cameras over the years has been low light performance. Small sensor, small lens opening, limited room for light, and you end up with noisy, ugly footage the moment the sun goes down. The Pocket 4 takes a meaningful step forward here with what DJI calls a two-stop improvement in low light capability. In practical terms, that means you're capturing noticeably cleaner footage in dark environments compared to the Pocket 3. In dedicated low light video mode, which limits you to 4K 30 frames per second and the normal color profile, the camera applies intelligent noise reduction and controlled sharpening to produce footage that genuinely holds up. Walking through dimly lit streets or filming inside a restaurant with warm, low lighting, the Pocket 4 handled it impressively. It didn't look like a surveillance camera. It looked like a camera that knew what it was doing. But DJI went a step further with one of the most practical accessories I've ever seen bundled with a camera system, the DJI Pocket 4 Fill Light. This little unit clips magnetically onto the back of the camera body. It draws power directly from the camera's own battery, so there's nothing extra to charge, and gives you a proper adjustable light source for vlogging in dark conditions. You can toggle between cool white and warm tones and control the intensity with a simple button at the top. No apps, no menus, just instant light. I tested this inside a dark restaurant, talking straight to camera with zero other light sources around me. Without the fill light, the footage was murky and unflattering. With it clipped on, clean, well-lit, completely usable content. It's one of those accessories that sounds unnecessary until you actually use it, and then you can't imagine leaving home without it. Design and build. Design-wise, as I said at the top, the Pocket 4 and Pocket 3 are visually very similar. But DJI clearly wasn't trying to reinvent the form factor here. They were refining it, and for the most part, that's the right call. The Pocket camera form factor works. It's the reason millions of people bought the Pocket 3. Why mess with something that's already intuitive and comfortable to hold? The two new physical buttons on the front are the headline design change, and they're genuinely well-placed and easy to reach with your thumb while holding the camera naturally. The joystick on the side still works the same way, giving you manual gimbal control whenever you want it. The USB-C port on the bottom remains, and there's still no built-in tripod mount. You need the base adapter to mount it on a 1/4-20 thread, which does add a little length to the camera. Not ideal, but manageable. Here's something that I think DJI got wrong on the Pocket 4. They removed the protective sleeve that came with the Pocket 3. If you had that camera, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That compact, well-designed sleeve that held everything perfectly and stored your filters and accessories at the bottom. Brilliant bit of kit. The Pocket 4 comes with a drawstring pouch instead. A pouch. It does the job of keeping dust off the camera, but it doesn't hold your accessories. It doesn't protect the gimbal nearly as well, and it just feels like a step backward. My Pocket 3 sleeve fits the Pocket 4 at about 80%. The camera sticks out very slightly at the back, but honestly, I'm still using it because the pouch just isn't good enough. I hope DJI releases a proper Pocket 4 sleeve soon. One more important note on durability. The Pocket 4 is not waterproof. Neither was the Pocket 3. Light rain? In my experience, both cameras handle it without issue. But don't take it into a downpour and be extremely careful around water. The gimbal sits at the very top of the device. If you drop this camera, the gimbal takes the impact first. That is not a conversation you want to have with yourself on a rainy pier somewhere. Battery and storage. Battery life is always one of those specs where the manufacturer's number and real-world experience drift apart pretty quickly. DJI claims up to 240 minutes of recording time on the Pocket 4's new 1,545 mAh battery. In practice, you're not going to hit that number, but not because the camera is lying to you. It's because nobody actually records non-stop for 4 hours straight. You film a clip, you stop. You look at the shot, you move locations, you stop for coffee. Real vlogging and content creation is burst usage, not a continuous marathon. In my full day at Disneyland Paris, filming 4K at both 30 and 60 frames per second in DLOG for the majority of the day, in temperatures around 26 to 27 degrees Celsius, I had zero battery anxiety. I was well past 2 hours of actual recorded footage by the time I was heading back to the hotel. And on the occasions when I stopped for food or a drink, I simply plugged the camera into my power bank and let it fast charge. The Pocket 4 supports fast charging that takes it from 0 to 80% in approximately 18 minutes. That is genuinely impressive and completely changes how you think about battery management on a shoot. And storage is also a strong point. The Pocket 4 ships with 107 gigabytes of internal storage built in, no memory card required. For most people on a standard day trip, that's enough storage to shoot everything you need without touching an SD card. The micro SD slot supports cards up to 1 terabyte if you want to expand. And if you're worried about offloading footage, the Pocket 4 now supports USB 3.1, which means file transfer speeds up to 10 times faster than before. Dumping a day's worth of 4K DLOG footage to your laptop is no longer the painful experience it used to be. Competitors. Right, this is the section I promised you at the beginning. Competitor context. Because buying a camera in isolation makes no sense. You need to know what else your money can get you. First, your phone. I know. And modern smartphones are incredibly capable. But if you're serious about video content, the Pocket 4 beats your phone in 3 critical areas: stabilization, color science, and optical quality. The 3-axis gimbal on the Pocket 4 produces a level of smooth, cinematic movement that no phone software stabilization, no cinematic mode, no steady shot can truly replicate. The DLOG footage at 10-bit captures detail in highlights and shadows that phone cameras simply compress away. And the 20mm prime lens gives you a consistency and optical quality that phone computational photography can't fully substitute. Your phone is convenient. The Pocket 4 is better at making video. The Sony ZV-1 II is a fair comparison. It's compact, vlog-focused, and comes in at a similar price bracket. The Sony has a larger zoom range and excellent autofocus, but it lacks a built-in gimbal, which means stabilization is handled digitally and you'll notice the difference. It also doesn't have DLOG at this price point, and the vertical shooting experience is nowhere near as seamless as what DJI has built into the Pocket 4. If you're choosing between the two purely for video content creation on the move, the Pocket 4 wins on stabilization and color workflow. The Insta360 Go 4 is aimed at a slightly different use case: ultra-compact, wearable, action cam territory. It's incredible for what it is, but it sacrifices sensor size and image quality for portability. If you want the best image quality in the smallest possible package that still produces professional results, the Pocket 4 is in a different league. The honest summary: at this price point, nothing else gives you a 1-inch sensor, a 3-axis gimbal, DLOG 10-bit video, and a purpose-built wireless mic in one kit. It's not perfect, but it is the most complete small camera package currently available for video creators. Should you upgrade? Right. The question everyone has been waiting for. If you already own the DJI Pocket 3, should you spend the money and upgrade to the Pocket 4? Here's my honest, use case specific answer. If you're a casual user, you take your Pocket 3 on holiday once or twice a year, you film the kids, you occasionally post a travel reel on Instagram. Do not upgrade. The Pocket 3 is still an exceptional camera. It will not let you down. The improvements on the Pocket 4, while real, will not meaningfully change your output. Save your money. If you're a working content creator, you're posting weekly on YouTube, you're building a brand, you're making money from your videos, then yes, upgrade. Sell your Pocket 3 now while it still holds a strong resale value, put that money toward the Pocket 4, and treat the difference as a business investment. The DLOG profile alone will elevate the visual quality of your content. The improved dynamic range will save shots that would have previously been unusable. And the DJI Mic 3 in the Creator combo means your audio quality takes a leap at the same time time as your video quality. If you're a professional videographer looking for a B camera, something compact and capable that can sit alongside a Sony FX3 or a Canon R5 without embarrassing itself, the Pocket 4 is genuinely remarkable in that role. The DLOG profile gives you footage that can be matched in post with what your A camera is shooting. The gimbal means you can get moving shots that would require a gimbal rig on your main camera, and the size means you can get angles and access points that a larger camera simply can't reach. If you're a first-time buyer, you don't own any Pocket camera yet, and you're trying to decide where to start, buy the Pocket 4. Don't buy the Pocket 3 at a reduced price. The Pocket 4 is the camera the Pocket series always should have been, and you'll get far more out of it over the next few years. So, the DJI Pocket 4. After 3 months, multiple trips, thousands of clips, and way too many hours staring at footage on a 4K monitor at 2 in the morning, here's where I land. This is the best small camera you can buy right now for video content creation. Full stop. The DLOG profile is a genuine game changer for this format, and the slow motion is exceptional. The low light performance is meaningfully better, and the creator combo is one of the best value bundles DJI has ever put together. Its weaknesses, the missing sleeve, the non-waterproof body, the D-Log limitation in slow motion, are real, but none of them are deal breakers. They're just things to know going in, so you can plan around them. If this video helped you make your decision, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are trying to make the same decision you just made. And if you want to be the first to know when I drop my full DJI Mic 3 standalone review, because that microphone deserves its own dedicated video, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell. That one's coming very soon. I'll put a link to the DJI Pocket 4 Creator Combo in the description below, along with my recommended memory cards and the SSD drives I use for backing up footage in the field. If you've got questions about anything I covered today, drop them in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll see you in the next one.